Hey, Luke here with Catfish and Carp, and I am from Virginia, though I was born and raised up in Alaska originally, and I'm just here visiting with my family, just enjoying the Catfish Conference. This is our third. I did the first one, the second one, and this one. So, yeah.
Tell me the difference in the vibe from the first one to this one.
Well, the first one was a real unknown. Nobody really knew what was going to happen, and I knew Steve, and he's always been a great guy, great help, and back then nobody knew me. Steve was the biggest YouTuber, and Chris was big, so I was kind of like, hey guys, and Kevin hanging out, and it was just real small. It was just like in a little sales bay at one of the boat dealers, but lots of people came, and nobody knew what was going to happen. Nobody had done the event before, and so it was kind of, everyone looked around and said, oh crap, this is going to be a big deal. This is
right.
You figured it out really quick.
Do you remember what size your subscriber base was at the first CatCon?
15,000 if I remember correctly.
Okay, good. So obviously the Catfish Conference has grown exponentially.
Yeah.
Catfishing in general, for me, in my area, is exploding. More people on the bank, more people out on boats, more people in the aisles at the stores. Do you see that at home?
I don't know if I've seen an explosion in catfishing, but definitely the catfishing industry has gone up. A lot of people have started to realize that, hey, there's a lot of money to be made in catfishing and catfishermen. It's not just all bass fishing, and the first catfishing conference was an experiment. And all the supporters who came there, they invested money not knowing if anyone would show up, and that was a big risk, and it did really well. And slowly I'm seeing a lot of companies here that said no the first couple of years.
Sure.
And they realized, oh, I got to ride this train. And so it's definitely, I think the industry is growing a lot because it's just catching up.
Yeah. So it sounds like possibly the industry itself, the machine itself, might be almost driving the supporters rather than the supporters driving the industry.
I think what it is the people who make fishing rods and fishing gears are figuring out that there's a lot more catfishermen than they thought.
Okay.
Catfishermen are more sophisticated than they thought, and they're willing to spend more money on fishing gear than they thought. And so, back in the days, if you wanted a catfish rod, there was ugly sticks, and then there was not much else. There was that. Now you look around, there's tons of fishing rods dedicated to catfishing. Most of these didn't exist a decade ago.
Right. That's not only an interesting take, but completely unique. I've asked that question to other people. Completely unique take on the growth of the industry. But my next one still pertains to the growth of the industry. I want to know if, when you see all this, if you feel like conservation is going to have to be looked at when you look at all this growth and all this focus, if you think that this is going to drive a need for change in catfish conservation.
Oh, absolutely. Conservation is about sharing resources. There's only so many fish, there's only so many bodies of water, and the more people who fish, the more people get into fishing, and the better we get at it, the more we have to be conscientious of, hey, I got to think of the next guy, and I got to think about other people, and it's not just about me. And the old days when nobody cared about catfish, and not many people were targeting them, it was like, whatever, ain't no big deal, but now it's like, no, this is a valuable resource. Lots of people want to do this. It's not just about us anymore. We gotta be more of a team player and realize we gotta share.
Right. Based on your experience on your home waters, if you could change a regulation right now today, if I could put the bill in front of you and you had the power of the pen, what would that one change be?
That's a hard one. But I would probably say limiting rough species, ace takes. A lot of people just don't care or think about rough species like carp, bullheads. In some states, catfish are considered rough species. Like in Maryland, for instance, a blue catfish is considered invasive trash fish. So, I think saying, hey, just because you don't value a fish, you don't think it should be regulated, doesn't mean it shouldn't be. I think I would re-examine how we define game fish. Okay,
so let me be real clear. Are you telling me that the change would be to get catfish recognized as a sport or game fish, and because there are still places where it's not considered so? Or are you saying that you would like to see more protected protection for other rough fish species? I'm not real clear on your
Well,
answer.
the two, it's all one and the same.
Okay.
So, for instance, boat fishing for catfish and unlimited bag limits and things like that are all associated with non-game fish species. So, if you make catfish a game fish species, then certain protections do come in.
Okay.
But I think it's just about sharing. Make sure that everybody gets a chance to enjoy the species, and you know, all the different types of fishermen and all the different harvest methods. Just making sure that everybody has a chance, because you know, you get a really small body of water, one guy can walk in and just absolutely destroy it overnight.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's something that goes overlooked a lot of times. I think that people don't realize how effective man actually is at fishing out a resource.
Yeah, I can tell the difference on fishing on a Monday versus a Friday on popular fishing spots. You know, and I fish because I'm doing this almost full time. I'm out on the water more, and you come to a pond, you'll see the fishing's really good on Friday because no one's been hitting it. And you come on Monday, and it's just been devastated. You know, a lot of people ask me why I catch and release. I averaged 97 pounds of catfish per day for 3 hours of fishing last year.
What would you do with all that?
Yeah, well, I mean, so you know, and I'm allowed to keep all of that. The department in Virginia, I could have kept every single fish legally. So I could come into a lake and I could literally in a week catch myself 1,000 pounds of fish.
Right.
You know, and just destroy it.
Okay. Well, you got a lot of people waiting on you, and I don't want to take up all of their time. So let's just circle back to the Catfish Conference real quick. Have you made a full lap?
No, I haven't done it. It's taken me 2 hours to get here.
Okay. Well, I'm not letting you off the hook on the question. If you had to grant a Best of Show award based on what little you've seen, that has nothing to do with the product, what caught your eye? What got Best of Show so far? And by the way, if you choose to send me a different answer before this video goes live, I'll put that in here.
I don't know. I would have to say I saw a booth over there where somebody was fighting. They had a little spool that simulated fighting a fish, and they had kids who were able to fight a fish.
Right.
That was pretty cool.
I think that's going to be a hard one to beat.
That's going to be hard to beat, yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Hey, thank you.